Voila. Yeah. It's me again. And we're back with another episode of R&R. I'm your host, Jamerson, Ballard. Happy Monday. Man, it's another one. It's episode 31. I hope y'all ready, man. I'm a little early. I'm a lot early. Because, we had a lot going on this last weekend. And I'm trying to get this over with real quick so I can go on to the next thing I got going on. You know what I mean? But today's episode, man, is entitled If You Stay Ready. And if you stay ready, you won't have to get ready, man. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be some stuff that you're gonna have to use your imagination in order to do this. I talked about this in another episode about the importance of imagination, and it's okay to use that to imagine how things would be if things don't turn out the way that you want them to turn out, and how you're going to respond to that. And I say the word respond because that's the appropriate word, response, not reaction. Now, there's been a number of things that's transpired throughout the week that I would love to expound on, but I'm going to focus on just a couple of things. I'm not going to go all into a whole lot because anyway, as you all know, you might not know this, but I don't do a lot of sports talk. But today we're gonna focus on a little bit of the sports aspect of it because I like boxing. And I don't know if you've been asleep or something under a rock, but this weekend we had the fight of the decade between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I am not going to lie to you. I was very, very disappointed because I had Errol Spence Jr. to win this fight. And I'm going to say that, and it's not like I'm going to not be a fan of Errol Spence anymore after this. I had no idea that Terrence Crawford even existed until probably about a year or so ago, and it was brought to my attention that dude was evenly matched with Errol Spence, and I was like, there's no way. So I'm speaking from a disappointing aspect. I was highly disappointed in Errol Spence's performance because I expected this to go all the way, maybe, but before we get into that too much, there was something else that transpired that I was not exactly aware of altogether. And that was the fact that one of the twins, Jamel, what's the twins' name? It's Charlo. Jamel Charlo was slapped in the face by Caleb Plant. But I don't think he was ready for the response after he grabbed this man by his face. Why are you grabbing this man by his face and not ready to do whatever is gonna come next? You are a professional fighter. So it doesn't make sense for you to get slapped in your face and not be ready to play some type of defense when you are the antagonist in this. You had no right to put your hands on this man. Now I don't like where it went after that because it was a slap, and I liked I was aware of the twins before I was aware of this Plant guy, and I have nothing against Plant, but he slapped Charlo and then called him a boy after, which was just, and his shirt was not grabbed, it wasn't nothing. He just got the twin got slapped, and then that was it. What? So yeah, I'm a little warm about that because I mean, like I said, it's just you're supposed to be ready for that. If you're going to jump out the window and grab another fighter by his face, and what you thought this was a publicity stunt, and he wasn't gonna go in or try to hurt you or hit you, or so I'm highly disappointed in that. Highly disappointed in that. Upset even. And I want any of the people that listen to me to understand that if you are going to do something, you need to expect the response from that person afterwards. And stay ready for it. Yeah. Look, I'm not necessarily no teacher or nothing. I just don't understand how you can be a grown man and not understand that there's a fight about to happen now. And you should be ready for that. I'll tell you something though, I wasn't ready for it. I seen a buddy of mine who was of sound mind and body probably about 2 hours ago, and my guy is completely wiped out. I mean, he's washed up. I mean, I was told by another friend of mine that if I seen him, that's what I was going to see. And as ready as I could have been for that, I still wasn't ready for how bad it was. So I do have to take my own advice. Now, it wasn't nothing to have to do with a fight. You understand what I'm saying? But it was still, it caught me off guard, man. So it was just one of those moments where it's like I had to shake my head, man. I couldn't do nothing with that. It was kind of scary to see that you could be up, and then one day, and then another day you could be down. So you have to be careful with how you treat people altogether, because you never know what can happen. You understand? And something that's up is not necessarily going to stay up forever, but you gotta stay ready, man. And try to keep a contingency plan for things to go awry, and be ready. Have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Listen, all the way down to Z, man. That's how I try to play this thing, man, because it ain't no other way to do it. You know what I mean? You got to have some get back, like an alley cat. I got another friend of mine who just, he up against it right now, and I tell him all the time, you're going to shake back from this, and once you get back from this, it's going to be hard to knock you down, because, losses make bosses. It's not like you're never going to lose. This happens, and I hate that Terrence Crawford lost, but it's just to lose in such a way was highly disappointing to me. So we'll get back to the fight like I'm some kind of commentator or nothing, but it's just the man back touched the ground in the second round, and that was kind of a fluke knockdown. The guy's never been knocked down before, and so for him to never been knocked down or never lose a fight, to lose a fight in such an epic fashion, it says one of two things. One, that either he wasn't the fighter that we all thought he was, or that Terrence Crawford was way better than anybody anticipated. Maybe both. But it's going to be a little difficult to shake back from something like this, man. The last time, I've heard of a person that lost in a way that was just, it wasn't even that bad of a loss, but and the guy it took 10 years for him to shake back, and that was George Foreman. And George got a movie out right now. I don't know if a lot of people have, of my generation high, because that was a little before my time. So I wasn't in the know about what was going on, but I could see from what I did see that was probably a real tough loss for George. But I didn't know that George took the L so bad that he really couldn't shake back for a while. I ended up becoming a minister and exiting the game of boxing for a number of years. I think it was an entire decade. Way after Muhammad was out of the game, though. And then he gained some weight, came back, rebranded himself, because he was this angry dude at first, kind of like, I think it was Sonny Liston is who he patterned himself after. But after that, he came back a lot more humble, and he took a lot of criticism from the media, jumped back in the game, started winning, and came out on top after that. Another thing is, you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, man. When to know when it's time to go, you know what I mean, and sit down, because in that division, you a heavyweight, you getting hit hard, and I kind of hate how Muhammad Ali went out, coolest man on the planet, and this is no disrespect to him, it just, I hated to see him with the disease, and that was hard to watch, man, to go from this saucy, shit-talking individual to can't really talk good, because whether it was your finances kept you in the game, et cetera, you know what I mean? I kind of think that maybe George Foreman had something to do with him getting shook up like that, because bruh hit hard, very hard, very big dude, you know what I mean? So, but I say all that to say that it's not entirely over for Errol. I did make a pretty harsh joke on my Instagram. If you are, a follower of my Instagram or even my Facebook, you may have seen the joke. But I'm just like, after a loss like that, bro, your pops probably was like, oh man, I need my name back. We going Monday to go get your name changed to Thomas or Charles or something. You can't be Errol no more. You gotta go get my name back. And then the rematch sound like it's something that might happen. But should he rematch after such a loss? I mean, I'm hearing things like that Terrence Crawford may have been taking it easy on him after a certain point, which is, I mean, that's understandable, because the money is in the rematch and then the rematch after the rematch. But when you get wiped out to a point to where it's just like, it don't even look like you need to be in the ring with this man no more, what happens next? You know what I mean? But you can't shake back from this, Errol. I hope that you still can box other boxers and still look supreme, but you got to know that you got to come with it. Some people were saying that maybe Brad overtrained, which is a possibility. I've even heard that, and this is not for me to even really be speaking on like this, but because he is from Texas, Brad had a wreck at over 100 miles an hour, was thrown from the car, and it was rumored that Brad was running from Mode 3. Like Mode 3 was running after, was after Brad, because I think Mode 3 and Yellow Beezy had beef with each other, and Yellow Beezy from Dallas and Errol Spence from Dallas, and they was kicking it together, and maybe Mode 3 was on him, and he was chasing him, and he got thrown from the car at over 100 miles an hour, and that's gonna change you. Now, I don't know if Errol Spence should even taken the fight after something like that, right? Maybe it was pride, or maybe the money was already he started digging into it and spending some of it. I don't know, but he took the fight. He accepted the challenge. Shout out to Errol Spence for accepting the challenge too, because he probably could have ran and dug dude and just played him to the left and act like he didn't even know he existed, because people do that. There's people that do that. if you're a professional and you got all these belts, like, why should I box you? Who are you? Who have you fought for me to even acknowledge you? But it didn't make no sense for Brett to keep running. This is the fight that we've all been waiting for. It finally came to be. And I was floored at how well Terrence Crawford boxed. I was more upset at myself for not being more aware of this dude, because I consider myself a connoisseur of sorts. But it's just, he completely wiped Errol out. If you missed the fight, go back and see the fight. If you were a Terrence Crawford fan, shout out to you, because Craig called it. I mean, he already knew, and I was just like hesitant to agree with Craig. Craig Smith, by the way, shout out to you, Craig, man, because you said some things that it kind of, I was a little bit upset that because I felt like I maybe I was, but I mean, I'm not gonna let my pride. I don't know these people personally. I'm just going off what I thought, but I was wrong, and I'm man enough to admit that, and it showed. It was so bad. It was irritating how bad it was. I mean, but them dudes in Nebraska, man, there's some hard-hitting dudes up there that way, man. Ohio, too. Even up, Missouri and Kansas. So don't sleep, man. Do not sleep. It's some knuckleheads out there, man. And, you can think that you got it going, but, until you come up against it, man, you really don't know. But you do have to train and stay ready. So you don't got to get ready, man. And that's all I really got to say about it, man. I can't believe that, it's just like what Errol probably gonna need better help after this. You don't have to go see somebody, to shake back. I hope it don't be as bad as it was with old George, man, where you just take a break off the game altogether, But, if he ended up becoming a construction worker or something after this, I don't think I would be surprised. That's just, I don't know, man. Now, I know y'all probably noticed the background. I had to get the tiger in this thing. I am the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. No, but I'm not a Buddhist. I did have a poster that was kind of in the room already, and I thought it was cool. But shout out to the homegirl who kind of, challenged me to be like, I'm a Christian, and so that was a Buddhist poster, and I just like the fact that it had let that shit go written on it, because that was kind of neat to me. Yeah, we had to swap it out. I hope y'all like it, man. It's kind of fitting because we talking about the fight, and this is a tiger, So, whatever, man. But I think right now, because we're gonna take it to the part of the show I like to call "Don't Be a Weirdo." Now, my screen on my nose phone and timed out on me, man. So you gotta give me a second to get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? And get my notes out. But yeah, it's some other stuff going on out here with these women and these mothers that are doing crazy stuff to their kids, like, I don't know, killing them, trying to get them shot. Is a lady, and this is our weirdo of the week, by the way. Her name is Lori Vallow Daybell, Caucasian lady who was just sentenced to life in prison, right, without the possibility of parole, for murdering her 2 children. And this lady honestly thinks that Jesus is going to be... Now, I can't say what Jesus is going to do. She could be forgiven for that. You understand what I'm saying? I just don't understand how you can kill your kids, man. What's going on? Ladies, if you don't want the kids, right, strap up. You don't have to have an abortion. It'd be nice if you just wouldn't fuck the dude if you don't really fuck with him like that. I mean, and you niggas too. Stop fucking bitches you don't fuck with like that, man. And then you fucking them raw, and then you shocked when you got the baby, or she decides she want to keep him because she tired of getting abortions, right? Now y'all stuck with a kid or kids that you do not want. There are other options. You could give enough for adoption. You don't gotta kill it. But the lady murdered her 2 children, similar to the lady from last week. I'm really tired of this trend of people trying to kill their kids, man. So look, stop it. Stop that shit, man. This shit is sad and it's unnecessary. You know what I mean? You fucking up the world. You fucking up the kids. You fucking up my show. I don't want to talk about this shit. That shit is sad and it's just irritating that who raised you, as TK would say. Who raised you? Why would you go through 9 months of having a kid and then raise it 2, 3, 4, 6, 10 years and then try to kill it? It was a dude that killed his kids, or attempted to kill. I think he killed his 2 kids. And it's just, so it's not like I'm playing favorites or like I got this thing against women or whatever. It's just, you got kids, love them. If you don't absolutely love the person that you having sex with, stop. I was also made aware of this post, and this is kind of off, but you know, I don't think that you should ever harm your kids, kill kids, right? I also don't think that, you know, that the kids are more important than your spouse. When you have kids by a person, it's a product of love, right? But there was a guy on the podcast talking about how he thinks it's weird that some of you ladies out there may love your kids more than you love the person that you had the kids with. That's strange to me also. You know what I mean? I know that might sound weird for me to say that because as a man, you know, I don't want to be in competition for love for my woman, for my kids. Now, I'm not saying that she should love my kids less than she loved me. I'm just saying it just, there's no reason why you should love your kids more than you love your spouse. You know, because that's supposed to be your best friend. You know what I mean? Now, I know I might lose a couple of y'all with this one, but, you know, I hate for my kids to go anywhere, but I love this person. We can make another kid, which you can't make the same kid, but, I mean, the person that I'm having my kids with, I love her. I'm not going to love the gift more than I love the gift giver. You know, some of y'all kind of got that off. Now, that was a little bonus, but, I mean, you know, I just take that how you want to. I hope I didn't lose y'all completely with that. But just, you know, just take it as one to grow on, because it's just, I don't understand. It don't really make sense. You know what I mean? I'm going to love my kids, but I'm not going to love the kids more than I love the woman. I'm hoping that things always work out between me and the people I have my kid, or the person I have my kids with. But if it don't, okay, I'm going to still love my kids. I mean, and I still love the person. I mean, I might not necessarily, we might not be able to work. And I hope that's never the case. But I'm still not going to treat my kids better than I treat my woman, even if she get on my nerves, because that might happen. You know what I mean? But ultimately, that's supposed to be my best friend, and we'll work it out, and we'll love each other, and we'll love the kids. I always been a big preacher of like keeping the like involved in relationships. I mean, I know a lot of people, they preach love, 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 but you have to have the like in order to get the love. And I think that the love is important, but the like is, if not equally important, it's like, I think it is about equally important to keep the like involved. So y'all just take that one, and hopefully I didn't lose y'all too much. But you know, we ranting, man. It's something we do here. You don't necessarily gotta like it. I hope that you can agree. If you don't, leave it in the comments, man. I mean, you don't all gotta be positive comments. I would hope that they are. honestly, I don't want to hear no negativity. But I mean, I do want y'all to kind of participate in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. It's Jamerson Ballard on all platforms, by the way. You know what I mean? Shout out to my shoe brand, Kicks, Quiks. Go get you a pair of those. You know what I mean? While we doing this. And, shout out to those of you who may or have looked out for me monetarily via Cash App. Because, this ain't, I know it's free game, but ain't none of this free, man. Ain't none of it free. If nothing else, it's cost me time to put this show together for y'all. I want y'all to grow from it. And, if you're entertained, that's cool too. But yeah, man, if every one of y'all shot me a 5 spot, now I sound like Zoe, huh? Shout out to Zoe Williams, man. But if everybody shot me a 5 spot, you know what I mean, we'd be getting somewhere. I could probably, you know what I mean, I could buy lunch or something to show y'all appreciation for the time I spent to bring y'all a quality show. You know what I mean? Because I could be spending this time laying down. Your boy do be dumbass busy, you know what I mean, with all the stuff that I got going on. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, you know what I mean, do yourself a favor. You know what I mean? And show me some love, and you'll get it back. You're going to get it back. I'm going to appreciate it. I appreciate y'all viewing the show. Even if you don't show me no love monetarily, I appreciate y'all views. And, if nothing else, shoot me a like, man. You know what I mean? A share or something. You know what I mean? Spread the word a little something. And we can make this thing keep popping. You understand what I mean? We 31 episodes in. That's about 30 weeks in, 31 weeks in. And we be consistent. We don't really take no days off. Even the holidays, we in here pumping something for y'all. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Like Blaze was saying, shout out to myself. You feel me? Because that's not an easy task, man. How many of y'all take no days off on the days that you feel like you should take off and you ain't getting paid nothing? So like I said, if you enjoy the show, you know, if you appreciate what I bring to y'all, do me a favor, man, and shoot me something. If it ain't nothing but $5, I'll be grateful for it, man. Anyway, on to this other part of the show I like to call Who Got Active. Now, normally on Who Got Active, we have something where it's like somebody being protected or somebody getting, knocked down and because they're trying to protect something, whether it be themselves or another person. But on this particular episode of Who Got Active, there is a young man who has made a really dope advance scientifically, and I'm going to shout him out on this segment. His name is Julian Brown. I think that's the correct name. Now, I did, the research that I could do in the time allotted before the show started, and so I could be wrong. I doubt it. But anyway, the guy, I'm going to say his name is Julian Brown, has invented something that could do great things for the country or the world even, right? And that is what he likes to call plastiline. Now, I'm not going to do too much to pick this thing apart because I was impressed with the fact that there's somebody out there, making technological advances. I say technological because it's like, it's not necessarily technology altogether, but it's something that a lot of people don't think is an issue. But plastic, which is what he has made this gasoline out of, is a real problem for the world as far as waste is concerned. There's plastic waste everywhere that none of us know what to do anything with. There's like mountains of it in the middle of oceans and things like that. And with this, the dude got a video of him starting a weed eater with this thing he's calling plastiline. Also, though, because this is where I put my tinfoil beanie on. I would say he needs to watch out and take cover, man, because I don't know if everybody's gonna like this, and by everybody I mean, the dominant society or the powers that be, or people who own gasoline companies and things like that. You know what I mean? Because they ain't really ready to relinquish control of that bread that they might lose. And you know what I mean? It was a guy, and it's a brother that did this too. Shout out to him though. But it's a guy that did a couple of other things. Like it was a guy that made a machine that turns thin air into water when the Flint water crisis happened. He had one machine out in Puerto Rico and one machine out in Flint. I don't think the people that sell water was cool with that altogether. They had a problem with that. So they tampered with the one in Flint. And but I think dude is still alive. There was another guy who made a television that ran on radio frequency. So the electric company probably ain't happy with that. And I think he's in hiding right now. And then there was a guy, I don't know if y'all remember the shooting that happened up north. Was like a white guy who went up in the neighborhoods up north. I forget what area it was in, but he was playing cool, like he wanted to get to know these older gentlemen up this way. Case in the joint, and he came back and killed a few people. It was like a mass shooting or whatever. I forget the name of the city. But there was, in that incident was a guy who learned or who created an engine that ran on water, right? And he became killed in that, and that might actually be the whole reason for the guy going up there and doing the shooting, is to get him. So I'm saying all that because, I don't know if this dude, or if y'all know who he is, or if he, you know what I mean, but if he aware of what kind of danger he might be in. But yeah, he probably need to chill out. And I don't know. I want to highlight him because I need y'all to not get comfortable and start creating new stuff and doing new stuff, right? But I don't want the man to come to harm, and I'm hoping I don't have any parts in him becoming harmed, bringing light to what he got going on. But I do want to shout him out. I'm proud of him, and he did get active, and so shout out to him, because again, before I take the kufi completely off, there might be some, damage that can happen to the environment when we shooting plastic gasoline fumes into the environment, but I ain't gonna get into that really. I'm just happy that we might actually be able to do something with all this plastic that we got around here and make use of it to get rid of it in a way. But yeah, that's all I got for that segment. In other news, or in another segment, I like to call "Wake the Fuck Up." We got an artist that is not a brand new artist, but been out for a minute. He from the town, from Oakland, California, but he sounds Southern, and I kind of dig that. You know what I'm saying? It was another artist that was out of Oakland by way of Mississippi that I used to rock with, but he ended up snitching, so we ain't gonna even mention bruh's name. Sad. Anyway, this dude's name is Lil Bear, Lulbear, Rubber Band. It's the full name on his, YouTube channel, because it's some other dude calling himself Lil Bear, and that's annoying or whatever, and he spelled it exactly the same, irritating. But yeah, Lil Bear Rubber Band has got a new project out, a couple of songs on the project called one of them's called LLELEL, or is it EI? I don't know, I think it might be ELEL. Anyway, that slap, and then Bleed the Razor slap too. He kind of, it's gonna be something you might you ain't heard before. That's why I like it. You know what I mean? The way he jump on the beat is a little different. He got another dude that I rock with. I'll bring him up probably next time. But yeah, check that out, man. Lil Bear, Rubber Band, man. He doing this thing again, man. You know, the project been out probably a couple months now. You know, so yeah, y'all check that out, man. Again, man, I know it's a little early. I appreciate y'all, you know, checking out the show, man. I got some other things going on, but so I'm gonna get up out of here. But man, I hope y'all have a prosperous week, and you know, until next time, man. Again, it's Jamerson Ballard signing off.